Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. Today we're going to be doing my How Is It So Far video on, of course, the Springfield Zoo, or the Moe's Ark event that the most recent event, which is called Moe's Ark, or some people call it the Springfield Zoo. Official name is Moe's Ark, which I don't really get. That's my first beef with it, I guess, is I don't really get the name. That's the little bonus one. But anyway, we're going to be doing this how the normal ones go. We'll be doing 3 things I like, 3 things I hate, and then I'll be doing my favourite character so far, my favourite building so far. This video is a little bit late. I usually do it just after Act 2 drops, but it's kind of been a while because I've just been pretty busy, and also I've had other videos that I've kind of prioritised a little bit. Obviously my Walking Dead playthrough, that's just been something I've always done on my channel. Like, I've always played the Telltale Walking Deads, and I just continue to do it. Because I may as well at this point, because it's the final season and I've already done like 70 odd videos on it, so I may as well just complete that. So I know that not everyone wants to see that, but it's going to be there anyway. So anyway, let's get into our top 3 things that I like. So the first thing I really like about this update is the zoo exhibits, and the way that you upgrade them and build them, and the fact that crafting kind of isn't a part of it anymore, and that the crafting's not really involved in this event, but it is kind of remixed with this whole upgrade thing. Now, of course, this is nothing new. They have done it before, but I do like how they're mixing it up and not just having everything be an act 3 with crafting and, 3 acts crafting, and that's every event, so it just feels really generic. They've actually kind of mixed it up a little bit. And I like the fact that they've, that you can do this, and that they've obviously the slots where you can put the different animals in, so you can kind of design it how you want. You obviously get the different parts to the exhibits, and then you can sort of put your exhibit together how you want, and if you want more, you can just upgrade a second one and get more parts to it. I really love this idea. I think it's something fresh, it's something new, and I just really like how it all comes together. I think they really did something solid with the whole zoo exhibits. So yeah, and I guess my one kind of beef is I don't really understand why the exhibits have lions, panthers, all in the same sort of exhibit. I know, obviously, it would probably be loads of decorations if they did it per animal, so I get it, really, but I think overall, the zoo exhibits are just a really great addition to the game, and I think it's something fresh and something new, and not like just a normal generic kind of thing that they, with the crafting, like, there's no crafting, it's not generic, it's something newish. So yeah. And my second point is, of course, they've added really requested characters into the game. So who I'm mainly talking about here is both Sarah Wiggum and Alison Taylor. They're the only 2 that really are massive standouts. There's other ones that are kind of cool that they've added, of course, but these 2 are definite standouts for this event because these 2 characters were really requested. Not just by me, by the community as a whole, I think. A lot of people wanted Sarah Wiggum in the game, and I've seen a lot of people saying to add Alison Taylor as well, so it is really awesome that we're getting both these characters. Yeah, and it's great, and sometimes it's better to get really requested characters than to get a bunch of characters. Now, of course, we've had updates like the Springfield Jobs that gave us a heck of a load of characters, but not very many of them were like that great. They were just kind of like 1 episode characters that they threw in, and like, they're good and all, and I do enjoy them, but when we get really requested characters, that's even more awesome. And of course, both Sarah Wiggum and Alison Taylor were really requested, and it's cool that we finally got them in the game. So I kind of hope they do this later on, where they have these kind of bigger characters that they just sort of weave, like, they just sort of weave them into the update, because really Sarah Wiggum had nothing to do with the zoo update, and neither did Alison Taylor. They just kind of weave them in. I kind of like this. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the levels in a way. In a way, it's like, oh, we've, in this update you get this kind of bonus item or something. That would be cool. I'd be fine with that, just because it adds all this kind of miscellaneous stuff that we really probably wouldn't be able to get. It doesn't really quite fit into any other update. Bear that in mind, though, I think Sarah Wiggum could have been a good Valentine's Day update character, but oh well, we've got her in this, and we've got her, so I'm grateful. My third point is the lots of cash items in the store, and this is another thing. Now, they could have very easily put all those items that are in the store, all the cash items that you can buy for cash, You know, like the fence, obviously the zoo exhibit fences, like the man with the squid, the aquarium kind of archway, the fountain and all that. They could have easily added all that stuff to crafting and just not give us anything in store, because over the last like 2 years of major updates, they really don't give us very much in the store. They tend to only give us stuff that is going to be permanently added to the store, like the tire fence and, you know, the little fence we got for in the Home of Palooza, that one with the Buzz Cola thing and all that on it, like things like that. They only tend to add things that they're going to permanently add to the store, into the store. But this update, they haven't. They've actually given us a bunch of stuff in the store, and hell, that might be stuff that's going to permanently stay in the game. If it is, that's fair enough, but I like how they're doing this, because they rarely do this anymore. They used to do it, like, back in the early days of Tapped Out, they used to do it all the time. There'd be a bunch of stuff in the store that you could buy with cash. Not really any characters or buildings, rarely anyway. There was the occasional thing, I think, but most of the time it was obviously just decorations that were in the store. But it's better to have a bunch of decorations in the store for players who just want to, you know, who don't play premium or rare, or, you know, obviously save up donuts and stuff, just so they can have, you know, normal free stuff. And that's what I like about this update. It's really done that, and it's given us some cool stuff in the store to actually buy with our cash that it's kind of become pointless now, because we can't buy, like, once you reach the top level, what do you really use cash for? You really don't use it for very much, because you can't buy land with cash anymore. You have to use land tokens, so there's not that. And by this point, you've got everything in the store that you really want. So the cash has kind of just become meaningless in some sense. So I'm glad that they're adding stuff to the store, and I hope they keep doing it from updates to come. Okay, so let's go on to 3 things I hate. So first thing I hate is well, let's just get it off the bat. I always talk about it when they do this, but I have to talk about it again, and that's the Maggie Butterfly costume that's it's just in store. Now, granted, it is a costume. I'd prefer it if they just give us shitty costumes, really, just crappy costumes in the store that nobody really cares for. Bear in mind that this costume's not all that bad. It looks kind of cool, but I really don't like it when they put characters in the thing, so I'm kind of happy that it's not a character at least. And to be fair, this is probably the worst, I mean, like, the least worth it for me out of the majority of them that have come so far. But whatever, I'm kind of just not, don't really care about it anymore. I'm not really bothered about it, but I have to put it on this list because it is, of course, a negative thing. I don't like it when they do this. I just think it's really, you know, I've talked about it many times. I just think it's a little bit scummy, especially because you're not even putting it with the cheapest thing in the store. If you were putting it with the cheapest thing in the store, that'd be fair enough, but you're putting it with, like, a really expensive item, and it's so not worth it. So it's just, I just think it's really crappy, and I really hope they stop doing it. But saying that, it doesn't look like they're stopping it anytime soon, but I always have to mention it, so yeah. My next point is, I feel that this update's a little repetitive in the fact that it's like another Let's Build update, in the fact that the Itchy and Scratchy Land update was one where you build Itchy and Scratchy Land, and of course you can rebuild Krusty Land. That was what that update was all about. You have to build Krusty Land. And this update is all about Let's Build the Zoo, and it just feels like they're very similar. Like, it's just 2 build updates where you build something. It's not really got a theme to it. It's more, the theme is basically building a certain section of your Springfield. And I just think that putting them basically back to back, obviously they had the Poochie Dog Days in between, but in a sense that was just an add-on to the Itchy and Scratchy Land update. So in a sense that we've just had one big Itchy and Scratchy Land update and then one big zoo update, you know. And I really feel like they're gonna give us a episode like a mini event after. I have a sneaking suspicion that they're gonna give us the Our Pooh's Children, the Octoputlets, in like a mini event for the episode that they're in, just because that kind of, I feel like that has some content that they could add, and I reckon it would feel kind of natural coming after the zoo event, because the whole thing there was Larry Kidkill wanted the Octoputlets to obviously be like an exhibit. So I feel like there is a chance that might that might follow after, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I just feel it's a little bit repetitive. That being said, I still quite enjoy this update. It's just I would have maybe preferred it if they structured it a little bit, maybe gave us one at the start of the year and one at this time of the year, and that way it wouldn't have felt kind of repetitive a little bit. But like overall, it's not that much of a negative. But yeah. My third point is kind of, it's just kind of a meme, really. Like, I'm only saying this because I really wanted them to do something special with this particular character, but Duff McShark is too damn small. I don't like it. I think, after really thinking about it, I was really excited for it. It's really weird why I was so excited to see this in the game. It's just because it's funny. It's just a shark that's got a beer keg in his mouth, and I just thought it'd be kind of cool if they could make it a character somehow, like an exclusive water-only character. I thought that would have been such a cool idea and would have been so special. Or maybe even a decoration that you actually do. But the thing is, they didn't even give us him as a decoration. They gave us a tank with him in it, and then you tap it and he does his little animation, which is cool, and I'd be for it if it was a little bit bigger. And I feel like this event has a few issues with scaling. Like, I think the aquarium's a little bit too small. It just doesn't really look very big to me. And a lot of the other thing, like, there's just a lot of things I just think kind of aren't really scaled right. Yeah, but my main point here is that I really wanted them to do something special with Duff McShark because I really wanted him in the game, and I don't know, I was kind of left a little bit disappointed. Also, as like just a little bonus for you guys, I think Sarah Wiggum was way too expensive. Like, after thinking about it, 300 donuts for a really kind of underwhelming building, and Sarah Wiggum was just not really worth it. And I think 200 donuts would have been plenty because, you know, it's an extra 50 for that kind of character. It is a Guilds deal, so an extra 50 donuts would be fine. I just think that they really kind of, I don't know, there's just a few things I don't really like about this update, just mini little things like that. I just thought I'd kind of bundle them all into one point, so yeah. And then, I guess, my favourite character, let's go on to my favourite character and building. So, my favourite character, although I've complained about the price, I still think my favourite character is Sarah Wiggum. I'm just really glad she's in the game. I think they could have done a little bit more with her, but I think overall I was pretty happy with what they did with her. It was okay. You know, she's got some cool animations, so yeah, that's good. But yeah, like overall, I'm pretty happy with her. So I'd say she's my favourite character in this update so far. Yeah, with a close second with Alison Taylor, just because Alison Taylor's kind of, and I think they did some cool stuff with her as well, so I think, yeah, she's like a close second. And then my favourite building, actually, it's probably a bit odd, and not everyone's probably going to be on board with it, but I've actually put the Taylor house, because I'm really glad we're getting some houses again. I really want them to do this a little bit more and give us a few houses, because they kind of, we've got all this, like, exotic and like all this like weird stuff in our town, but we don't have very many houses, and it's just, if you really think about it, we're meant to be rebuilding a town here. Like, that's the whole purpose of the game. Why are we building a huge ass theme park and then a huge ass zoo but not building houses? Like, I don't know, if you just put a bit of logic into the game, or you just kind of think about it logically, it doesn't really make too much sense in the game, to be honest. But I guess it is just about seeing your favourite locations and characters and unlocking them and putting them in your game. Really, I think that's the main purpose of this of the game overall. But yeah, I just kind of thought Taylor House, I thought it's quite nice. It is scaled a little bit too small, but I think overall it's a pretty solid building. And there's some other good buildings in here as well. I mean, there's not really one I can really put my finger on. I would say my definite favourite. Of course, we haven't obviously got all of them yet, but there was a few in there. I quite like the Big Bug House as well. I think that was quite nice. It's quite kind of cool. There's a few other buildings in there, but there's a few that we're gonna get from we're gonna be getting like a, what is it called? I forget the name of it, but I'm just gonna call it the Jewish update, because that's essentially what it is. This is the Roach Halal, or was it? Oh, I don't even know. But we're gonna be getting something in that that looks pretty cool. It's the Jewish Heaven, so I'm excited for that building as well. So yeah, but overall, I think Taylor House and Sarah Wiggum get it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if it was a bit rambly. I'm just kind of a bit pressed for time, but yeah, I think that overall this update is really good. I did really enjoy it. Well, I am enjoying it so far. Of course, I will give my full opinion on the update when I do my content list, where I kind of, review it overall. But for the most part, so far, this is a pretty damn good video. So, sorry, a pretty damn good event. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.